with your boy Phoenix. How y'all doing? How y'all doing out there? Woo woo woo. Let's do some collective energy and see what's going on behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? In this time of review. Mercury being retrograde most of April, we're going to have a lot of visitation from the past in some form of fashion. Some of it a little uncomfortable, some of it quite delightful. You know what I'm saying? Feels like it's going to be a mixture. But whatever shows up in your reality is going to be to help you move forward in a very confident way. Aries deals with that fire, that trailblazing energy. With a retrograde here, you might rekindle something in some way. The eclipse will move any obstacle that is in the way of that taking place. So whether it be a person, place, situation, or just something within you, something within ourselves that maybe has been talking us out of our greatest potential, achieving our potential in this lifetime. And to celebrate the retrograde, I done pulled out my first deck that I ever had and I read with, the Santa Muerte deck. And having it side by side by the deck that I created is quite as I sit here with it, is haven't really comprehended the full scope because the journey is not quite over, but I'm seeing more of why certain things in the journey had to happen to lead to certain things that I really didn't plan on doing a deck. You know what I'm saying? It was just years of artwork that had meaning that started to come together in a way. You know what I'm saying? Putting pieces back together. Little did I know when I first started, that it was going to go that far, that I would take it as far as creating my own deck. And this is that retrograde energy, you know what I mean? And this could be revisiting even what were the obstacles that were in the way of this process of me creating my own. And it was quite a few, my own organization skills, things of that nature, even not making a book for it. But that was a decision that kind of came in light of the way things are changing. This is really meant to be an intuitive deck. And rather than lock people into a box of what the definitions are, because everybody's situation is different, these now have the ability to really evolve in so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? And this is the wholeness of this time is the evolution of things. There's caterpillars all over the place outside. There's pollen in the air. Things are not going to, there's an immunity built to last season's flu kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole new immune system going on. There's a whole new everything. And the eclipse is going to help us cleanse that old way of being out of our systems. So let's start with a blast from the past. Let's get a couple cards from the Santa Muerte deck, and then we'll go to Fancy's deck. Okay. So top of the deck, and this card came out in the reading I did on IG a little while ago. It's about taking a break, especially a mental break. Not so much of the overthinking. You know what I mean? Even things from the past. And decision making at this time, especially. Not rushing to any decision. Maybe this is where that term, maybe you just need to sleep on it. Because this eclipse is coming to help eradicate that. This is the tail end of the journey when you get to the Ten of Wands. This is when, the last steps of whatever burdens you were carrying come off the back and you begin a whole new passionate cycle. And this is really what Aries season is about, finding that passion again, getting back to that fiery, exploring, daring, the full energy. No coincidence. Today is April 1st, April Fool's Day. You know what I mean? Using the dog or your nose as your intuition, as your guide, packing very light. And the fool can't pack heavy. And this is what this retrograde and this eclipse energy is doing is helping us lighten the load, lighten ourselves a little bit, making sure that what's going with us is part of the, curriculum. And on top of that fancy deck, you got King of Diamonds, and on the bottom of the deck, oh yeah, the Queen of Spades, royalty. Royalty, mastery of self. But this Zen meditation is like stretching past our own limitations, seeing the value of taking the risk that we have in the past and moving forward. It's kind of like building momentum or steam while standing still. You understand what I'm saying? Legacy. What's being passed on, what's being transmitted from the elders and the ancestors at this time, and what's being conveyed to the youth at the same time. So this is where time kind of intermingles as far as our energy is concerned, of the transmission and the continuation of legacy within our families, our birthright, our energetic, what will be passing on to our children, and not just in the physical sense as far as money, trust, and all that, but the values, you know what I mean? The virtue, all the experience and wisdom in that big treasure chest right there, and also on the lookout for new opportunities as they come down the pipe. But this all comes from being in a state of rest. Even the Queen of Spades is a very still card, and the thing about yoga is you get very strong doing very little as far as movement. You understand what I'm saying? And it's got that kind of duality to it as far as the advice of even just doing some yoga, but definitely getting into that Zen element, or that 0 point, that place where we can hear everything clearly and see everything clearly, because this is the physical world right here. We can see the things that are happening clearly as we go forward, and this is also extracting the value of the last couple of years, the last couple of days for some of us, you know what I'm saying, as far as our realizations. But this is a time of release and reflection and a new birthing, shedding old skin, doing things differently. You know, if you recently found a picture of yourself back in high school or something, it's like, what would you tell that person? And what would that person tell you at the same time? Remembering your essence as a child and how you were with people. If you ever seen some of these kid videos, how open and loving and caring these children are. They say hi to everybody. There's no real discernment. It's just open heartedness. You know what I mean? Getting back to that, but knowing the wisdom of where to apply that kind of energy at the same time. Not getting yourself stuck in situations, where it's not a fear-based thing either. I want to put that out there, because we're always going to stub our toe here and there. You understand? It's not about the fear of making mistakes. It's being wise. The judgment card, wise enough to make the correct decisions for ourselves moving forward and in a bigger scope, because so much more is on top of it than just us. And look at this, the Hermit card again, and the Spirit Guides again. Really getting in touch with the other side, you know what I mean? Relying on your spiritual counsel. There we go. Your spiritual team to help you get things done. So this is more about the being than the doing right now. Getting to the essence of what it is that you really desire moving forward, and having it so clear that the orders are given out and that these opportunities start to show up due to this relationship right here. Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're putting things to work for you and not having to do so much, while you're in a calm state, reflecting, getting, the jewels and the nuggets here to make clear decisions, all coming from rest and release. So rest and release is the theme for this, you know what I mean? And it's going to lead to an awakening, an aha moment. Oh, that's why things had to go the way they did. Oh, that's why, this was on repeat because I kept doing this or responding this way or reacting better than responding. You know what I'm saying? So really refining our own individual process and letting this energy cultivate itself to bring us closer to those people and places that we truly want to be in at this time and moving forward. Okay. So, final words of advice from the Santa Muerte deck. Yeah, more of that release. More of that release. This is like a detox. You know what I mean? Anything that you were, this is kind of that crying over spilled milk card, but this is sitting in that, and this is the way you move forward. You know what I'm saying? It's the release. The Chariot is moving forward, standing still. So it's like the more work or the time you spend on yourself, making sure that these emotions or these emotional patterns, if you see this little maze that's been created, it's been emptied out. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these emotions were just going through all these channels, going through all these motions over and over again. And this way, when we empty it out, we get to see the patterns without attaching the emotions to it and just sitting in the emotions, as just recognizing that we're having this experience is the human being, stress on the being part. But it's like those same emotions, tears, whatever, just soaking that up and really releasing it. So, salty tears become a salt bath almost. It's like you become your own therapist, especially with the help of your guides and your alone time. So you can recognize the patterns. Mm-hmm. Real good stuff right here. So that's what I have tonight for April 1st. Happy April Fools, happy belated Easter. And it's the same thing with this Easter energy. Everything is, it's no coincidence about the timing of things. Even the symbolism of the children gathering the eggs is the ancient story of Isis being assisted by the children. Again, that inner child, the children helping her find the pieces of Osiris, her husband, and putting them back together. Is symbolic of this resurrection of the Christ energy within. Really being enlightened and taking the steering wheel right now. And that could be a scary thing to be in your full power, especially when you're merging the light with the dark. You know what I'm saying? It takes a little bit of getting used to. It gets a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning of anything new, any kind of new undertaking. You understand? But that's just like that's why the rest is so important now, because all the work has really been done. All that past baggage has really been accounted for, or is being accounted for at this time, in order to, just get the lesson out of it and move forward in creating a new experience for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that also has a lot of the bounce back energy. When life does present you with things that are a bit challenging, your ability to just bounce right back immediately, where maybe it would have took you, a jail sentence or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in your anger or saying hurtful things that you can't take back. Or now it's more of a patience. You understand what I'm saying? It's not so reactionary, because this is dealing with the emotions. So not allowing the emotions to really to rule us, but to use these emotions to our benefit to propel. That's the rocket fuel to propel things forward for us instead of being to our detriment. Okay. So a lot of magic at this time, especially the time spent alone in the hermit mode. You know what I'm saying? Being in your own world or reshaping or recreating your own world in silence. And it's an inner work. Nobody can see this. You know what I mean? On the outside, it may look like a plain white wall, but on the inside, it's this colorful universe or universes that we possess that we're now getting in touch with on a micro level, which helps us on a cosmic level, as above, so below. So these are the messages I have today. Enjoy the rest of your evening, or if you're on the replay, if you want to reach out for a personal reading, you could Come see me on Instagram. You can DM, you can send an email, however works best to you. Leave comments. I love to hear from everybody what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and moving forward. Wish you all the best. Have a great one. Peace.